Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to another Liverpool transfer news or gossip show, as we like to call it. Because again, is anything going to get done in January? Who bloody knows at this point, anyway. But of course, I am joined by Mr. Jack McKindo from Anfield Road TV. Jack, how are we? How are you feeling?
Thank you very much for having me on, mate. Appreciate it. As I said, apologies if I'm lagging from my end. Everyone, let me know. Let us know in the comment section below. But yeah, I'm excited, mate. Thank you. It's always great doing shows with you, lad. Anyway, so yeah, we can go talk about ramble and debunk, start rumours on some new players.
Well, let's be fair, yeah, let's just start a rumour up. Kylian Mbappe is joining Liverpool in 2025. Why not? Let's bloody
Spoke to
start
us,
it.
ma.
We're not going to go down that route because we've gone down that route so many times anyway. But yes, tonight's episode, of course, as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, we are going to be talking about Sofyan Amrabat. That is what we're going to talk about first of all. And supposedly, if you listen to the rumors and whispers, he has decided to go to Atletico Madrid. But of course, there is a lot more details in that as well. We're going to be talking as well about Nice's Thuram. I think that, yeah, Thuram. Anyway, of course, the 21-year-old French midfielder that could be available for less than 30 million euros. So again, could be a very, very good little player for that price as well. And of course, if you guys have seen by the thumbnail and the title, of course, we're going to be talking about, you guys won't know him. Of course, I don't know him until this morning anyway. But of course, Liverpool have unfortunately missed out on the next Norwegian star, according to Fabrizio Romano anyway. And we're going to talk a bit about that in tonight's episode, and anything you guys want to mention as well, or if there is anything that does pop up as well, then please do let us know in the chat and all of that good stuff anyway. But we will dive straight into it then, of course, chat, and we will talk then about Sofyan Amrabat, of course, had a phenomenal World Cup with Algeria. Not Algeria, sorry, Morocco.
Yeah,
Sorry, not Algeria. It's because of the colours of his
yeah.
yeah, his jacket. For some reason, like Algeria just popped into my mind anyway. But of course, they'd have a phenomenal World Cup with Morocco as well. But of course, was in the team of the tournament as well. But news came out yesterday about him potentially choosing Atletico Madrid over Liverpool. According to Santi as well, that's reported the news before the World Cup as well, about him and Jurgen Klopp supposedly having a meeting and having a conversation about potential transfer. It is now suggested that he has chosen a move to Atletico Madrid over Liverpool. Santi does go on a bit more in his tweet as well, that is translated through Google anyway, saying that Moroccan has given his preference to Atletico. Atletico must agree with Florentina, are very greedy in this file. Obviously, that's translated a bit weird, but the people of Madrid have very limited means this winter. Of course, they've got rid of Joao Felix on loan, which, £11 million deal, which is still crazy for a 6-month loan deal, of course. And they are looking to get Memphis Depay in, I believe, to replace Joao Felix. But Jack, first of all, the news that Amrabat has first of all chosen Atletico Madrid, and of course the rumours this week concerning Atletico Madrid with Diego Simeone potentially leaving at the end of the season. I think Atletico have even come out and said that that's completely false. He's still going to be the manager at next season, is what they expect anyway. But what's your thoughts on that, if that is true? Amrabat picking Atletico Madrid over Liverpool, if that is to be the case.
So it'd be interesting, mate. I think we've got to put ourselves in the players' shoes. In all honesty, mate, I think for Amrabat off the back of an excellent tournament, I don't think any of us would have anticipated. Don't think even the Morocco fans would have expected to him, and especially Fiorentina, absolutely made up. Of course, they're going to be getting a premium off the back of a player who, as we know in the past, and we've already discussed this, me and you, mate, and we in chat, certain players off the back, obviously, of World Cups, they very much flopped. And some of them have done really well. And I think he'll do really well, mate. As you know, we've done quite a lot of World Cup watch-alongs. And I did get quite a good viewing in that Morocco side. And I think he'll fit in perfectly, especially if Diego Simeone is to stay there. When you look at Tom Partey, what he did offer that Atletico Madrid side. Prior to move to Arsenal, I think that's one aspect or one midfielder that they've very much missed. In all honesty, mate, I think he's been not. I wouldn't say he's like for like in terms of Thomas Partey, but he's got that. He's got an engine on. And most importantly, statistically in that World Cup, he was one of the most successful tacklers in the heart of the Morocco midfield. So, yeah, I think he'll thrive in La Liga. I think it suits his pace. I think the pace of the game, obviously transitioning from Italy, of course, it'll be a bit more quicker to Spanish La Liga, mate. But as I said, I think me and you spoke, mate, and I think all the Reds around the world, it's a case in point of, we'll speak about another midfielder later in Thuram, but for me, it screams that Liverpool, of course, as much as it frustrates us, I think we're just waiting for the right player and the right valuation in certain transfers. Because I'm pretty sure we spoke about it, mate, and we've already done a show on Amrabat. Liverpool probably might have inquired, but I think if they got close, what is it, 30, 35 million euros?
40 million euros, I think, now after the World Cup.
I think if we were going to spend that amount of money or even plus a premium, you need to be going for an out-and-out starter. And I don't think Amrabat, for me personally, would have been an out-and-out starter ahead of Fabinho.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the big thing with me, with Amrabat is quite clearly he's a destroyer. Obviously did so well in that number 6 role for Morocco at the World Cup. And of course, seeing extended highlights with him at Fiorentina, you can see why a team like Atletico Madrid would very much, be after him. Of course, the dark arts, as we say, with Atletico Madrid, and it's that sense of as well where, when you look at DMs, there isn't that many out there that, are probably well established in terms of age. Amrabat is around that age.
You look at Fabinho and Kante, mate. Like that age profile, even Casemiro. I know Casemiro's on another planet still. But you look, as you said, it's great points. Like the age profile of like the top DMs, top number 6s in world football. I don't think there's a out and out. People probably might scream at the telly now and go, "Oh, this player." But I think Rodri is probably, in terms of the youth, Rodri's very much still got youth on his side. I think he's about 25, 26, or might be a bit younger than that. But I think when you look at it, we've had the best years out of Fabinho, I feel, mate, in that number 6, unless Liverpool get, as we spoke about, everyone gets legs around Fabinho. I think that might possibly help him in terms of a defensive point of view. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, mate. But I think if he does move to Atletico Madrid, mate, I think he'll very much thrive in that team.
Yeah, 100%. I do agree with you. Apologies, I'm just trying to quickly have a look. Apparently, Arsenal have bidded for that Ukrainian winger.
Oh, actually, officially, like a big bid, is it?
A big bid, yeah, officially at the minute. It came up as a news alert, so I apologize, chat. I did think it was something to do with Liverpool, but it came up as a bloody news alert. So again, false hope on my end anyway. But let's get into a few of your chat.
I think they'll be open. That's not another Pepe chat as well, guys. I imagine that's another Pepe. It's a bit mad. I think I seen someone on Twitter yesterday. Everyone's like, "Has anyone checked his stats?" I think he's got 5, 6 goals in the Ukrainian league, and I know goals and assists aren't everything for players, but
thing is, Shakhtar have properly gone like, right, this is supposedly meant to be the next best thing, and everyone's just jumped on the bandwagon a little bit. And it's and even like I think the big thing for us is, again, I've never watched a game of football that he's played in, or even looked at his stats in depth or whatever, but in terms of, obviously Zinchenko has spoken a lot about him. Obviously Chelsea have tried to hijack the Arsenal move. And it does feel like a Willian type signing, where it's like everyone's after him, and then you'll see. Like, will he start for Arsenal? I don't think so. Martinelli and Saka.
What is he? Oh, God, is he a right winger?
I think he's a winger, but I'm not entirely sure myself.
Because unless they are safeguarding and they know someone big is coming in for one of their either Martinelli or Saka, I'd love Liverpool to get Saka, Christ. Long-term salary replacements, potentially. But someone big must be coming in the Prem or in world football for one of their wingers. So that's the only reason. Because the doubts, I don't need that. As I said, like you, mate, you haven't seen a lot of them, but yeah, I get the need quality, but to spend 80-90 million pounds up on a backup winger, I just don't think it's the right move.
Yeah, not 100% anyway. But let's get into a few chats, and guys, let us know your thoughts anyway on everything that we do mention as well. Doug saying hi to both of us as well. Check DMs. I will after the stream, Doug as well. Jackson, get involved. Jack, yeah, absolutely. All right, Connor and Jack as well. Eamon, thank you very much for tuning in, my friend. Hannah as well says evening all as well. And it's even said, why would any decent player go and play under Simeone? I think if you're defensive minded, he's the perfect manager because you know he's going to play to their strengths. If it's an attacking, exciting, like Joe Felix, for example. Yeah. Like that deal entirely was because they got that much amount of money because Griezmann, and they went, okay, who can we replace for Griezmann?
It's always a question that's asked me. Con, I don't know how you feel or chat. I'd love to see him in the Prem. It'd be intriguing. Diego Simeone. Simeone. How his tactics would evolve. We've seen Mourinho, is it 05-06? In terms of winning that title with like probably one of the best defensive records in the Premier League era. I think he'd do well, and I think he's probably he's in the top. I think he's in the top 5 of most expensive managers. I think he's one of the most expensive managers in terms of salary as well. I think from how far Atletico Madrid have come, I think they were like mid-table or like 16th, 15th, and then they've just elevated to like top 3 every single season over the last 10 years since he's been there. So yeah. And he's a double title winner as well in La Liga, considering what he was up against. Honestly, I think that's still good.
Well, yeah, when we actually look at it, I think it's only Villarreal, apart from.
Yeah, I mean, you looked at this a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like, it was massive.
It was really random when with both of us, we were just looking at it, and it's like apart from Villarreal, since Rafa's. Was it Villarreal?
Valencia, sorry, that. Yeah, it was Valencia.
Yeah, but apart from them, it's just been Atletico, and then it's just constantly been Real Madrid.
Because we were thinking, me and you, and we were thinking, how many La Ligas have actually? Because Ronaldo's only won like 3 La Ligas, hasn't he? Cristiano, and that's mad if you actually think about it. The amount of titles, like Atletico, obviously won 2. Obviously, the last one in recent years as well, just gone. But yeah, it's intriguing because obviously. They've been so good in Europe, haven't they? But it's not really translated well in La Liga, which is mad.
Yeah, exactly. Let me quickly read out here. Well, hello, Ricky. I know this is Ricky. The eyes emojis anyway. No, hang on a minute. No way, Joe Felix has been sent off.
Has he? Whoa.
No way he's been sent off.
Oh, he has as well.
Has he?
Koulibaly scored. Hang on, I need to get this on me.
Felix red card.
Was it a bad one, chat? Bloody hell.
It's a straight red card by the looks of it.
He wants a couple of weeks off in London, doesn't he? Just swanning about.
Get used to the football. Like Fulham lead 1-0. Obviously, it's 1-1 now.
That's never our striker as a chat. Never our striker.
Getting Darwin Núñez love. Willian scores. Of course, we won't mention Darwin Núñez news, of course, till tomorrow until we find out what is happening with Darwin anyway. But Simeone would stink out the Premier League. I think the Prem has moved on from his tactics. When you look at it, I think the only club right now he could even potentially join is Chelsea. Because it's so uncertain.
Everton.
Do you think Simeone's going to Everton?
They got Ancelotti. Like I was saying this to Tom.
True.
Like if Everton have actually got some ambition, because it's very similar to Everton, big historic club, Atletico Madrid. But I'd love to see it just for the absolute horrible football that we'd bear witness.
I wouldn't. Can you imagine the blue shites with freaking Simeone?
Oh no, not with Everton, but I just mean Simeone in the Prem.
No, but could you imagine if Everton did get him? Or can you imagine the derbies?
Oh, Simeone and Klopp on it. Just fine.
Do we all remember Atletico Madrid in the Champions League? Yeah. Jesus Christ. Let me read out Gary's comments as well. Talio
There you go,
O'Connor
Gary.
and Jack, this is an eye-opener. Amrabat not wanting to come to Liverpool. I wouldn't necessarily say
It's not
that.
quite Jude Bellingham, is it?
Yeah, it's not. It's not that. Of course, if you listen to, I think Santi's mentioned it a couple of times. Liverpool had, Jurgen Klopp had one meeting before the World Cup with Amrabat's agency. Second meeting happened, I think the week after the World Cup as well, or when Amrabat was back or wherever. And it's not necessarily that as well, because Atletico Madrid, Florentina don't want to get rid of him now, and I'll say that perfectly clear. They clearly don't want to get rid of him. They're saying, look, we want 40 million at least for Amrabat. And as we've just discussed, Atletico Madrid don't have funds. They're struggling to even get Memphis Depay loan fee together, I think, at the moment as well. So that's embarrassing to begin with. But when you're having 11 million off Felix for 6 months, then they're doing pretty decent in that regard anyway.
They've went down to 10 men, but they're absolutely slapping the ass of Fulham here.
Doug saying Felix, ha 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 ha. Oh my god, he's off as
well.
What
was it, chat? I was going to say, what type of red card was it? Was it a Nunes one, or was it a madness?
Yeah, Tom's in as well. Tom, we were just speaking about you. Fair enough. But
speak of the devil.
Yeah, speak of the devil. Liverpool are shambles. Lad, wait until tomorrow. We're talking about the preview for Brighton.
Oh, Gary. Oh, yeah. Wait until Marion Connor's preview shows tomorrow. This should be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be funny. Ewan as well saying we're just as bad as Chelsea. I'm not laughing.
Oh,
yeah, it's not the best, is it, overall?
We're going to get absolutely our ass slapped by Brighton tomorrow. Well, I keep on saying tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow.
Well, either way, I don't think either of us are looking forward to it, or any of us are looking forward to it in that regard anyway. But we will move on then. And of course, to, like I was just saying to Jack off stream, if you guys have seen this fella, obviously Thuram for Nice, 21-year-old French international. If you've seen him, he's 6'4" and he looks tall.
The French Marco Gruitch, you love to see.
Yeah, you could say that, to be fair anyway. But we have, of course, been linked with yet another midfielder in this window, at least anyway. And this story is coming from, I believe, transfer. I think transferwindow.com, I think it is, or something like that. But like they do have a few reliable journalists writing on behalf of it anyway. But it does go on to say as well, Liverpool face January transfer battle to land Thuram as well. If I quickly scroll down and read you it, Nice are wanting to keep Thuram until the summer, but a suitable offer of around 30 million euros should be enough to persuade them to depart with the 21-year-old. The football transfers has learnt. We exclusively reported that Liverpool have had talks with the midfielder who shone for his League One side in their 6-1 thrashing of Montpellier last night with a goal and an assist. Scroll down. At one point last summer, after a string of spellbinding second half of the season displays for Nice, the French club valued him at just 15 million euros. We have been informed it was at this time when current PSG boss, obviously I'm not going to read his name because I'll absolutely butcher it, wanted to bring the youngster.
Gaultier.
Is it? There we go. Thank you, Jack, for the translation. Back to Paris in July and rekindle their relationship. Sources in France have said they are bewildered at the price is so low for a player of his quality, but the move never transpired in any case as well. So, of course, for 30 million euros, which would be around £26.5 million
pocket change.
Yeah, and we talk about this, budget that Liverpool are on supposedly in the summer of between 200 and 250.
I haven't spoken to you today on that, lad, have we?
No.
Chat. I was speaking to Jamie and obviously the lads as well on his episodes. Obviously Tom Little and obviously Ensman as well, but still typical, mate. Like me and you've been doing YouTube for a couple of years, haven't we, mate? But we've heard this every single year. It's just to try and get a bit of heat off FSG in some way. Fair enough if Liverpool go out and spend 200, 300 million, but we need midfielders now. Yeah. It's not a case you're playing with fire in all reality, mate, aren't you?
Yeah.
But to that point as well, Con, sorry about on that. It's interesting if we are looking for that type of profile of midfielder. We all know, especially Liverpool, are transitioning away, and a lot of people have mentioned this in terms of different tactics. But if Thuram, obviously, I've just checked before, Connie is the younger brother of Marcus Thuram, who's obviously playing for Borussia Gladbach, looking like you're going Chelsea. Everyone's going Chelsea. But it's interesting because the first midfielder Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp signed, or first signing, was Marco Grujic. Yeah. And when you actually look at his profile as a player, big, athletic, didn't work out for him as we know, and then to Liverpool to then you must shift the philosophy of midfielder.
We signed a left winger, turned him into a centre mid, and Gini Wijnaldum in that regard as well. I will quickly get up as well. Apologies for butting in, but I will get up to Anfield Index as well, and their little scouting report on him. Anyway, and I will quickly read you it as well, as you can see there. So if we quickly go down to again, what does he bring? I think from year onwards, it's a good point to bring up anyway. Plenty according to Sam Maguire's, of course. If you guys remember when I mentioned about the midfielders video a couple of days ago, I think 2 days ago, the Opta analysis was from Sam Maguire's, but it's his recent Patreon article this summer. The French under-21 international brings an obvious physicality at 6'4" and 81 kilograms, which the Reds have been severely lacking this season. The 21-year-old also possesses a real mix of dribbling skills, pace, power, stamina, and an ability to break up play. Whilst it should be noted that the display, despite being a number 6, the former Monaco youngster can also play on the left of a midfield, of course, midfield 3. There are concerns that he is untested at the highest level, as the Europa Conference League can prove difficult to evaluate, but it would be Thurman's potential and high ceiling that is being paid for, which, again, that's what I think Jurgen Klopp was looking for as well. We look back at the summer just gone as well. In particular, obviously we were looking for a number 6 and number 8, which Thuram can play that. Of course, Tchouaméni, that we really wanted. Of course, that didn't fruition after all. But reading a bit more onto the article as well, and stats and info. I won't read too much into that because, again, I don't want to take too much from this. But again, realistic as well. A different one to summarize this term is a name that comes from nowhere but appears to be widely accepted as a realistic target on social media for Jurgen Klopp. A reported fee of around £30 million and a low wage should mean that this would be likely to be an easy deal to complete should the Reds wish to pull the trigger. However, the suggestions are that the likes of Caicedo, De Jong, and others are higher on the priority lists, which, of course, I think everyone on social media would prefer that, to be fair. But again, it's that similar, Jack, when we talk about that, that, say, for example, 200 million, 250 range, if that is even true. When we look at it for the summer, just looking at that, you've got, Jude Bellingham, what if things go to plan? And of course, I'm not saying things are going to go to plan or, things are going to happen. But you're looking at Jude Bellingham, 130 max, I think, on Jude Bellingham. Then you've got, Matthias Nunes, which we know is going to happen, because even Paul Joyce is confirming it these days at 44 million. And this seems like one of those sensible options where you've got your very high transfer, your mid transfer, and then the lower end one. If you're spending 26 million on a 21-year-old, and the article does mention as well, he was underneath Tchouaméni in terms of the potential list as well. It's the fact that that it seems sensible in that regard as well, and it seems strategic. But it's like you just said earlier on, that sounds brilliant, but it would sound brilliant when Liverpool are playing well and being amazing and rebuilding then for the future. The problem is now we've got a team that is massively struggling and asking for a midfielder to come in the door right here, right now.
We just need to get back to basics, mate, in terms of transfer strategy, don't we, mate? In chat, Liverpool need to start going back to what we've done. And I understand, obviously, two key players in terms of development and recruitment. Obviously, Julian Ward and Michael Edwards are leaving the football club. But surely, I think one of them's still employed at the football club. So it's not like he's going to be gone at the end of the year. He's still got to be working. And fundamentally, for me, mate, I think there is very much still value out there in the market. I think all these transfer fees are massively inflated due to teams like obviously City, United as well, Chelsea. Look at them. Chelsea have spent 400 million, and I think any team, regardless of what level you are in the Premier League, I think the whole of world football knows that every single Premier League team, apart from Liverpool and City, are very much desperate. City are that, and Liverpool dropped away, of course. We have this year, but in previous years, we're at a level where if we want a player and that player wants to come to us, then that player itself will move heaven and earth. And even if a club does overvalue it, we'll just go, sounds, yeah, same. And that's what's frustrating. All of us know the fact that we missed out on Shermany and we didn't have a plan B or plan C or D. It's hopefully Thuram is the plan B or a potential plan C or B. It's going to be interesting, mate. There is still money value on the market. I think all of us, we're not bothered about the fee. We just want to see quality, youthful, experienced players go into football club that just allow Fabinho to have a rest. My man, as we know, all of us, my man Fabinho's been ran into the ground. Yes, you can talk about Fabinho's legs not being there, but they're only not there because he's having to do the work of three other midfielders or another two midfielders in that, if we are playing three, mate. But yeah, I'd love to see him, mate. As I said, you only have to look at how much quality is in the French league. You look at how the French national side, Canate coming through. Obviously, I know he did play in the Bundesliga prior to his move for Liverpool, but yeah, there's so much, there's still so much talent in there. And as we know, mates, all those French teams are absolutely skint at the minute. So yeah, long may it continue. Hopefully, Liverpool can recoup and regain that a bit of form. And that's 2-1 Fulham. Sorry, there, lad. 2-1 Fulham.
It's just a perfect again way to end this. It's like, yeah, Fulham 2-0, brilliant. As well, of course, Fulham do go above us if they do win tonight as well, which is again shambolic.
We still need to win our 2 games, and boys and girls.
I'm watching on the Xbox but can't type. It takes him only in a heartbeat. Could you imagine the derby scenes? It would go back to the old days. Yeah. Would definitely go back to the old days for sure. It wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool win the Champions League. This season reminds me of 2005 under Rafa, where because we're exactly. But that's the thing. It's if we beat Madrid, it's like that. It's like it is that frustration.
The whole competition, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the fact that you've got Bayern and PSG playing each other as well, which that opens up everything as well.
2 big teams are going out there, in all honesty.
Yeah, exactly. And it's again one of those frustration things where yet again we're like, why couldn't Liverpool beat Real Madrid last season, win the Champions League, for God's sake? But again, it does definitely remind me of that season as well. But if we don't get at least one midfielder this window, there will be a backlash on FSG. Klopp will be questioned too if we don't make top 4.
100%.
I would agree with that. I think because I've seen a couple of people the last couple of days after the Wolves game going, oh well, Klopp needs to be asked about a few things and that. And tactically, yes, I do think Jurgen does have to answer a few questions, but it's like when you've got one hand tied behind your back and you're not given the funds to do what you want to do. Like he said, and I think plenty of people still remember.
I mean, you've done plenty of shows about it, mate. I think all of us. I think every Liverpool fan, as you said there, it's as you said, he's got one hand behind his back, but he's got to take responsibility as well. We spoke 100%. About it, haven't we? Like as even Jurgen Klopp. It's the thing when we've all been in a job, and imagine say if you went on Facebook and slagged off your manager and work, you'd go into work tomorrow and you'd have no job. But as we know, Jurgen Klopp, if we did wake up one morning and they got rid of him, there'd be hundreds of thousands of people on the streets of Liverpool demanding that Jurgen Klopp got reinstated because it'd be
Yeah,
madness.
100%. But it is that, innit? Look how everyone reacted to the Super League, and
Yeah, very
that was
quickly.
during COVID when no one could, come together and protest about it. And that's the thing, though, where we're looking at this season, and all right, yeah, and we talk about over the past couple of years about title races. Like you can, you could definitely be out of a title race by March or February at least, and that could be the same in terms of top four because you've got Man United now on a way up. You've got of course City and Arsenal away gone, but that's 2 spots out the Champions League gone. For definite. United, Spurs could potentially pick up again, and that. But again, we're our worst we're our worst enemy because every time teams like Tottenham and Chelsea drop points, or other teams that are around the top four, Liverpool drop points. It was the same last season with City. City dropped 1 or
That's
2
why it's
points.
so annoying this season, mate.
Yeah.
If Chelsea do have that season, and even the season where we had our no centre halves, the seasons where City, I think it's very similar at Liverpool and City. When we both have very similar seasons, I think it's massively sent all the City players heads west that it's not Liverpool behind them, it's Arsenal above them. I don't think they can really get much far from that. And that's why I think even when you watch it, if you didn't watch the game last night, that didn't look like a Pep Guardiola side. No, 0 shots on target. Mad.
Yeah, and when you think about it, the team that they started with, and then the bench that they brought on, like that's their first team, nailed on, and they couldn't do anything against Southampton.
Yeah.
And you look at it, we beat Southampton 3-1 or 4-1 at home?
Oh yeah,
I think it was 4-1 on it. But again, look, anyway, City loses, it's nice. Top four is a trophy for me this season. That's how bad we are. Yeah, absolutely, I would agree, 1000% for the England as well.
Big up Scout.
Yes,
Yeah,
let's go and get him. Yeah, absolutely, I would 1000% agree as well. I think, look, Neil Jones mentioned something on Redmen, the fact that he doesn't think Liverpool are done this window. Liverpool could be waiting for something to happen. I don't know whether or not if it's like a domino effect potentially, where one team might buy someone and then they might be willing to let someone go, or this, that, and the other. But it does come into question of what are Liverpool waiting for.
I think that, and all of us do not want what we've done with Melo, like the last day of the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be a bit like poker, mate. I think all of us are thinking, fair enough, Liverpool. If Liverpool publicly come out, like say tonight, and said, yeah, we've got 100 million to spend, every club in Europe's going, sounds. We want our midfielder, 100 million. Even for like a fifth, you'd be looking at a 40 million pound midfielder, and they'd be going, yeah, we'll quote you 100 mil because we know you're desperate. That's what all of us spoke about it. Next year's going to be the big one, especially Liverpool do lose all 4 midfielders. Christ almighty, we better have some war chest because it's not going to be cheap to replace all these players, regardless of the qualities. You're missing English quotas in the squad as well, and you're looking at Milner.
I think Liverpool are already in that position, though. But I think Liverpool are massively in that position because, all right, fair enough. Over the last couple of seasons, people have gone, "Oh, what do Liverpool potentially need? They need a midfielder."
If it's not Jude, then we've got to be buying another English midfielder.
We're done. If it's not Jude Bellingham,
I think it's either Jude Bellingham or it's going to be Calvin Ramsey at Villa. Something's telling me if we can't get Jude, he's predominantly a left-hand side midfielder. And I think when you do look at it, you dot to dots and everything, really, it's going to have to be an English midfielder, whoever that is, I think. But for me, and everyone keeps on mentioning Declan Rice, but I
don't think Declan Rice is the answer.
No, I don't think he is. He'd improve what we've got, of course, but it's and he's got the characteristics similar to obviously a leader in the dressing room. But for me, I've something telling me about Calvin Ramsey potentially. Okay, what's his name? Not Calvin Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey and Aston Villa. Yeah, sorry, Chas. Jacob Ramsey.
I think that's the thing, though, isn't it? I think Liverpool are all or nothing in this Jude Bellingham deal. And again, it's whether or not Liverpool get it done or not, because if you listen to the rumours and that supposedly Liverpool have offered or
His
will
dad's
offer
a
anyway.
job.
Yeah, his dad a job. They'll I think even offer his mum a job. Sign his younger brother as well, and practically take care of the Bellingham family. If you believe that,
That's
type
something
of
we should
rumours.
do, mate. Like,
Yeah,
if
no,
you
we
think
should.
about it, when you look at Ferguson, we all hated the Ferguson years.
Mm.
So successful. Ferguson used to bloody drive to the house and literally not leave the house until he signed for Manchester United. Like, he had so much control. And Jurgen Klopp's that big, isn't he, mate? Where
Mm.
if Jurgen Klopp walks in a room with any of us, and most importantly, footballers that know he's one of the best managers to get the best out of you as a player, to develop you, and obviously propel you to Ballon d'Or levels potentially. Look at Van Dijk, look at Salah, look at Mane. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting.
I think it'll end. I think it will come down to because obviously Real Madrid is the number one destination, I think, for most footballers.
If he wants to win the
the world.
Champions League, he won't go City. He's having to go Real
No,
Madrid.
I don't think City are in the picture. I'm not going to lie. Look, City can offer as much money as both Real Madrid and Liverpool combined, I think, quite clearly. But I don't think, just speaking about, and there was an interview today, obviously, Jude Bellingham, and he was speaking about, with some clubs, it feels different. You could go anywhere in the world, but with certain clubs and certain fans, it feels completely different. Obviously, we're speaking about Borussia Dortmund and how it feels like one big, massive family there. I think that's the picture of what what the suggested talks and that supposedly happened with Bellingham's family and so on. It seems like Jurgen's gone through the family route, where obviously Liverpool have supposedly done the most work behind the scenes out of all the clubs, and so forth. And I think that's going to be the big key.
That
The
says
fact
a lot. If you were
Yeah.
players, mate, if you want any job, if someone's actively wanting you to get you in interviews or on your podcast or whatnot, if people actually ask you, that means a lot. In all honesty, and obviously goes out their way massively, mate.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I think. Look, I do think Jude Bellingham is most likely to come to Liverpool. But if I'm to pick between two teams, it's between us and Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And look, don't get me wrong, and people can clip this. City can offer everything to Jude Bellingham, but it's what does Jude Bellingham want to do, and what his family wants to do. And I think that will be between Liverpool and Real Madrid. Whether or not Champions League football is a thing, because I do think if Champions League isn't a thing for Liverpool, I still think he is under. Liverpool will still try and get him, no matter what. I think anyway. But we'll move on then, away from Jude Bellingham, and we'll talk about this fella. Now, some of you might be going, Con, who the hell is that? And I'm not going to lie, I didn't know until this morning. But that is Andreas Schelderup. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Great pronunciation, eh?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you very much. But according to Fabrizio Romano, he has officially signed for Benfica. A £14 million fee with no add-ons included, 20% future sell-on clause, and contract valid until 2028. Now, you might be thinking again, Con, why you mentioned Benfica news? Well, Fabrizio Romano did also mention as well, understand Liverpool were actively in the race to sign this gem in 2023. Concrete talks. Andreas was tempted, but decided for Benfica immediately as best step. Another Norwegian did something similar with BVB. Now, if you're wondering what he plays, I will quickly get up the transfer market.
Is he a winger?
He is a winger. But quickly bring up his transfer market stats as well for this current season. Anyway, of course, Andreas Schelderup. Again, I hopefully I'm pronouncing.
Is he from Norway? Yeah.
Yes, he is. So if I quickly make that a bit bigger for you guys as well, so you can see it. I always forget to make it a bit bigger. But as you can see there, yes, 18 years of age, born June 1st, 2004. Does that make you feel old?
Yeah, it's a year before the 2005 Champions League final.
Literally.
Oh my lord.
That's awful. But yeah, as you can see there, 17 appearances, 10 goals, 1 assist so far. this season. Main position, left winger. Obviously can play also as a centre forward and attacking midfielder, which of course is a number 10 role as well. But as you can see, but there as well as played for all of the Norway under 15s, under 21s, and so forth as well. Of course, contract was up 2024. We look at it, but there it will be around £12.5 million that he does sign for Benfica anyway. And Jack, this does feel like, if I can get that off the screen, will that come off the screen? It won't. Why? I can't get it off the screen. There we go. We couldn't get it off the screen. But it does feel like another Enzo Fernandez type deal, where obviously Liverpool, as Fabrizio said, here like Liverpool, where it was strong, active talks to sign him in 2023, which again, obviously, linked FC, lol.
Legit linked FC.
Yeah, linked FC. But again, understand Liverpool were actively in the race to sign him in 2023. But again, like I mentioned to you off stream, it does feel like another Enzo Fernandez, where probably in about 2 years' time, we'll probably look for him and he'll be like 95 million or something like that.
Yeah, be going for something, mate. Obviously, look at because the other fella, Odegaard, at his time before he got his move to Real Madrid, I think it was. Obviously, he was on trial for a lot of clubs around Europe, and there was always pictures going around of obviously Odegaard training with Brendan Rodgers of all bloody people, getting sourced. No wonder he didn't sign. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see his developments. There's probably a lot of Football Manager people out there watching tonight. If there is in the comments, let us know, because I'm guessing, by all accounts, if he's very sought after, and you think about how good Benfica's recruitment has been in the last couple of years, especially over the last 8-10 years. They've made, I think they're the most successful club in terms of revenue.
Sold the most, yeah.
Yeah, I think they've sold over like a billion worth of talent over the last 10 years, which is mad.
You go through the Premier League list, that's during the Premier League. You go, David Luiz, Edison, Ruben Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Bernardo Silva was Benfica, wasn't he? Or Sporting?
I think it was his Sporting. I think maybe it was
Sporting.
But even still, like when you think about all the Portuguese league players, João Felix, Atletico, 100 million. It's quite frankly ridiculous. But as a club strategic point of view, that's what you want your football club to be. Well, of course, but when you think about the revenue, as we've spoken about tonight, the revenue in the Premier League, but you look at the Eredivisie, that's why PSV couldn't turn down our 44 million or 35 million, because you look at the Eredivisie, 10 million for winning the league. That's the Premier League gets what, about 140 million in the parachute payments. It's chalk and cheese in reality when you look at it. But yeah, I think Benfica fans will be very happy because it just allows them to bring in that new lad we're discussing, Andres, and I think he'll be, as you said, mate. I think he'll be on the move in a couple of years' time if he just stay at Benfica and develop.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I'm just hoping it, as we said, it's not one of those players that were like, 5 years time, £100 million transfer to someone. It's like, bloody hell.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're saying that we can't be stockpiling left wingers at the minute.
No, yes, that is very, very true.
I know 2 of them are injured anyway, but
can you convert him to a centre mid?
Can he play centre mid?
Go to bed on transfer deadline day. Nothing for us to see if nothing is done before then as well. Yeah, absolutely. There's a Liverpool need a midfielder now. Again, we've discussed that. I think that's an understatement, to be honest with you as well. LFCCE says, what happened to Nkunku to the Premier League? He is joining Chelsea.
Yeah, looks like so.
He will be a Chelsea player at the end of the season. I think it's 60 million euros plus 10 million add-ons if they win. I think the Premier League or Champions League, something like that as well. Bernardo Silva to Monaco. Yeah, I know he come from Monaco, but I think he was at Benfica first. I could be wrong with that, though, I've been honest. Any news on Núñez? Is he sick or is he injured? I'm not going to mention anything about Núñez because he is out for Brighton, but we don't know anything. It's an unspecified injury. what was said on Twitter earlier on. So take that as what you will. So again, we're not going to specify particularly. So again, we'll know more tomorrow in Jurgen Klopp's press conference anyway.
Just on those Benfica players there, Con and chat. Bloody hell, some of these names I completely forgot. So these are Benfica's players that they've sold over like the last 10 years. So João Felix, 127 million euros. Nunes, 80 million euros. Ruben Diaz, 71 million euros. Ederson, Axel Witsel, they sold them to Zenit for 40 million euro. That was, when was that back in? That was in 2012-13 season. Because when you think about that, that's basically equivalent to what, 100 million now. You look at Raul Jimenez. I didn't know he went for that much. 38 million euros from Wolves. From Benfica. Semedo, 35. Lindelof, I think. Renato Sanchez, 35. Yeah, when you actually think about it, it's absolutely madness. And yeah, 1.1 million in terms of players that they've let go.
Does it say what they sold?
1.1 billion.
This is I'm thinking of the wrong player. I was going to say someone else then. But it is mad though how much talent they actually bring in, and they're probably the best. Yeah, they are probably the best scouting department in Europe, at least. Because obviously South America have quite a good track record in terms of finding players and so on.
Fabio Contrao as well. The list goes on. Bloody hell! I remember back in the day, 40 million. It's mad.
Bloody player though. Let's read a few more of your comments, and before we do, I want to quickly show you guys as well something in a brief moment.
Oh, good save, Leno. Sorry, there you go. It's good save by Kai Havertz, and he scored.
Let's get into your comments. There we go. Benfica's best player was Eusebio. Yeah, 100%. Guy says Benfica are racking it up.
FSG would love that model, Gary, in chat, wouldn't he? Bloody hell.
Yeah, absolutely.
we'd be playing with no midfielders at that rate.
Oh yeah, just play friggin' do what we're doing now, play defense and then just attack.
You think about it, they probably how cheap they bought whoever owns Benfica. I'm not too sure who it is, but if they bought Benfica for quite cheap and they're making that amount of profit, Jesus Christ, their model should be very much getting looked at all around Europe.
Yeah, 100%.
And Paulinho, Paulinho, another Portuguese league player. Can't believe he slipped through the net, innit? Yeah, Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah.
You think about it, was it 10, 15 million, something cheap?
Something like that.
Quite cheap, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Portuguese league. It has a very, very good track record. Look at us, Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz more recently. Luis Diaz has been fantastic for Liverpool when he's played for us anyway. But I will quickly bring up, you guys have seen on social media anyway, of course, the news that LeBron James and Liverpool
get a sick bag, Jack.
Are obviously doing a collection and are meant to be releasing a Liverpool kit. Now, if you guys have seen it, then you already know what is in store. But if you haven't, here it is. And yeah, I'm not gonna.
Wow.
I'm not gonna mention it anymore. That looks horrific. I'm not gonna lie. Now, this is the leaked kit for it, but
don't worry, this isn't a way share chat for next year, guys.
No, yeah, don't worry about that. But yeah, that is supposedly meant to be the LeBron Liverpool crossover kit, which again, it could be it. It might not be it. It might just be a little bit of a template built up. I will say this, and I said it to Jack. LeBron James's logo looks horrific. I don't know why he hasn't got a better one. I don't know. I don't know.
LeBron James. I thought, I was going to say, Decon, I thought it said, get that back up. I thought it said FSG on the writing. Joe in the writing.
Yeah, I thought that.
I was like, oh my God. What is it? FSG? If the codes, we're not buying anyone, sod off.
Yeah, let me quickly get it back.
It's like a base. That's like, chat. What does that remind you of? It looks like a
baseball.
Yeah. Top wars or from the 1980s or something.
It looks like, do you like when you got the option to go dark version or dark theme on your phone, but it's like a baseball kit instead.
Tom, and remember, Tom, when you used to play Pro Evo, chat or chat if you play Pro Evo, looks like you just make your own kit on Pro Evo. That looks like it's been templated on Pro Evo back in 2005.
Yeah,
A kit.
100%. But yeah, that is god awful. And I hope it's just a random knockoff kit. But of course, Fuzzy Headlines did report on it, and it's just gone completely mental. Over Twitter and so on as well.
It was mad that last year's kit, the McDonald's kit, actually come bare fruit. I was like, oh my god, there was a kid like wearing it. I seen it in Anfield. Like he was wearing it like 3 months before it even got released. I was like, oh my god.
Remember that white one, the fourth one that came out like in March last year? Like that was horrendous, but I saw plenty of people buying it. And I was like, why? It looks absolutely disgusting. But realistically, if you want a kit this year, buy Liverpool's home kit and buy the third kit if you really want to.
Buy it at the end of the year as well, chat, because that's when it's cheap. Never buy a kit at the beginning. I don't know this year, never again.
unless you're a fool like me and McKendo.
That money will go straight into FSG's new yacht.
Do we want to tell the story of when you got your kit and the woman looked at you weird when you said, "Can I have Nunes?"
Oh yeah, because I'm an absolute muppet. Shout out to the lady, a great lady. And tell Anfield Superstore outside the stadium. I go, oh yeah, I have Nunes, and she's like, who? She's like, do you mean Darwin? I was like, oh yeah, Darwin number 27. She was like, lucky enough, she said, because she could have thought my name was what, Darwin, but Nunes. But yeah. And don't get me started on when I was fuming with the people that pushed in front of me.
Oh,
yeah, that's a show for another night anyway.
That's a dark episode all in itself. To be fair, now if you
and
just
then he got barred from the kids stuff.
Well, you nearly made I think 3 kids cry because they couldn't get their kids printed.
It's called British etiquette, really, just queuing. Us British like to queue, but yeah, apart from when we go on holiday, when we're going for the hotel holiday beds, there's always that one person in the family that has to get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning and you get your towels on the beds and then
just chase the freaking sun off them.
Yeah, where's my bed? Oh, yeah.
But if you guys want that story, then we'll put it somewhere in the future anyway. But crossover as there ever is one as well. Tom with the spearing emoji as well. Yeah, it's not the best, is it?
Gary couldn't have said it better, Gary. All right.
That's horrendous. His trainers and headphones are shite. So says Gary. Good lord, was that done in a kids art class? I think the kids could have literally designed a better kit, if I'm being perfectly honest with you.
And I'm rubbish at art, but Jesus, you think about Nike and how much money LeBron James has got, surely you'd think he'd be able to get a better design there.
Exactly. Of course, I will say this again. It's not confirmed. It's, but it is leaked. And when Footy Headlines come out with it as well, they are the most reliable people when it comes to leak kits and certain and sportswear and that in that sense. Again, you can put 2 and 2 together, and it's absolutely god awful. And like, someone will buy it. Someone absolutely loves this kit or loves the template of it. And yeah,
that kit is for the FSG purists. Wait, what?
For God's sake.
Go on. The FSG inners will be all over that. Sounds.
If you buy that, then you're wrong. Anyway, but Hannah's just.
Let me get you there for your birthday anyway.
Yeah, get in the bed. I won't accept it. Chelsea lost as well. Yeah, did they lose? So again, Fulham go over us.
Potter's getting sacked soon, chat. He's gone. I caught Tuchel going 12 months before. It's just a Chelsea Football Club. That's what
formalities, isn't it?
Hang on. Oh my God, Fulham are how many points? Fulham are 4 points off top 4. European football, chat.
Jesus Christ.
I know they played 2 games in a hand, but Jesus.
Tom says, watch Jack buy that next week. Wait, what?
Saying I've only just bought a new headset, Tom, so that.
Oh, thank God. Honestly, my ears are now. Chat, honestly.
You don't have to elaborate for chat because they won't have a clue.
Chat, honestly, if you want to get punched by Mike Tyson in your eardrums for about 6 hours,
Whilst
honestly,
playing FIFA competitively.
Yeah. And this guy to me went, I can't hear anything. I can't hear what you guys are hearing. He would not have put up with it. I would just say that. Took you about 10 years to get a new one as well. Yeah, absolutely. Tom will know the pain as well. He sounded like he was on a plane. Lads, it felt
Basically,
like he was
everyone
getting
when we're playing like on off camera, like, but yeah,
yeah, it wasn't the best.
on the
But then when
PlayStation.
you streamed, it worked perfectly.
Oh yeah, no, it's the ghost of Divock.
Yeah, literally. Anyway, but we're going to leave it there for tonight anyway, guys. Of course, it is 10 o'clock. We've been on for an hour. That hour went really, really quick. Anyway, but of course, we've spoken about Sofyan Amrabat in tonight's episode to kick it off. Of course, him looked like he wants an Atletico Madrid move over Liverpool. Of course, we've spoken about Thuram as well of Nice. And of course, we've spoken about the Norwegian wonder kid, anyway, that has joined Benfica, but Liverpool were interested in bringing him into the club. Of course, Andreas. Andreas. I'm not going to pronounce his last name again. I don't want to butcher it for the
Do it
fourth
again.
time tonight. No, absolutely not. As well. Sholdarup, whatever the hell his name is. There we go. But yeah, he's joined Benfica for £12.5 million anyway. And of course, we've also mentioned the LeBron James away kit.
LeBron James.
Stopping the bets anyway. But Jack, thank you very much for coming on, my friend. Anything else you have to mention before we do head off?
Yeah, I'm retiring from YouTube.
I'm
a part-timer anyway, so apologies, chat. Yeah, I hope to get you on tomorrow, mate. And I'll be doing the pre-match build-up show. But yeah, no, thank you very much, Con, for having me on. And everyone, as always, a massive thank you for tuning in tonight, everyone. As I said, I'll be live tomorrow. Hopefully, get Conrad on and a couple more people on as well. And we're discussing the impending fixture that is Brighton. Not just once, but we've got to be playing them twice in the space of what? A week? Or like a week or two. It's like, bloody hell, nice.
Yeah, it's not the best as well. Thank you, Raymond, as well for tuning in as well. But yeah, it's not going to be the best. Of course, tomorrow we'll be live at 9 o'clock as well. Obviously, we'll try and get Jack on. We'll have a few other guests on as well. Obviously, if there is any mods as well, please put Jack's link in the comments as well. I was going to say description then. Yeah,
in the bin.
In the not in the bin. God's sake, what? But yeah, if you could please put the link in the comment section down below. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed tonight's episode as well, please feel free to leave a like.
Dislike it if you want as well.
If you want, but
yeah.
don't if you pretty please. But God's sake. But yeah, if anyone's new as well, please hit that subscribe button as well. If you want the latest Liverpool news or transfer news or anything of that sort. Anyway, but again, I'm not looking forward to the preview show tomorrow because I am not looking forward to listening to Jurgen Klopp mentioning what's wrong with Darwin Núñez as well. So.
Just saying a spoiler for tomorrow. I've gone 3-1 Brighton, so.
Oh, for God's sake, why have you put me in a depressing mood? Where's there it is. He's in a depressing mood. Get out of my street.
I'm back. I'm back like a Liverpool performance all season. I'm probably moving quicker than our midfield as in 6 weeks.
Well, we've come from behind, have we, again?
Yeah, even that switch over, that was quick. I'm seeing that in our midfield, the 2-8s as well.
Yeah, absolute shite. But guys, hopefully have a fantastic rest of your day. Anyway, of course, like I said, we'll be live tomorrow at 9 o'clock with the Brighton preview. And yeah, hopefully we'll have some good news tomorrow anyway when it comes to injuries and all that. Anyway, but again, that's going to be it from me, guys. I've been Connor from the Cup Council. We'll see you all tomorrow. Ta-ra.